This is Financial Literacy 101, and I want to talk about Joe Biden's economic plan. Now, if you are a Democrat, don't feel offended. It's okay. If you're a Republican, it's okay. I'm a person, don't affiliate myself with no political party, so don't believe that I'm a Trump supporter or Republican supporter or Democrat supporter. So let's get that right out the way. I don't support none of these jack-offs that are in politics. All of them are crooked in my opinion, okay? The person is, what politician is not going to rob the American people the most? That's the question, because you can see right off the bat that it was a political ploy that the Democrats did not allow the Republicans to give the American people $600. I mean, to give us $1,200 or anything more than $1,200. The only thing that they gave us was $600. But now with Joe Biden's America Rescue Plan, he's giving everybody an extra $1,400. I wonder. See, I like to go ham on both political parties because it just shows you how they play tennis with the American people. But let's get right into the plan, because some of us may be losing our jobs. Some of us may be losing our jobs, and it may be you. And this is very important because some people are not seeing through the bull crap. Some people are not seeing through the bullshit. And they just like, oh, dude, he's going to do all this stuff for the American people. Now that Trump is out of the office, I believe there's going to be more jobs. No. Let me tell you what happens when you start to tax rich people. Rich people start to send jobs where? Overseas. Exactly. So let's get into this. Let me see if I can get this. Oh, here we go. Now, Joe Biden's economic plan says here, top line agenda, provide health insurance coverage for 97% of Americans in 10 years. He's only going to be in there 4 or maybe 8 if he survived that long. Let's just wait. Raise an additional $4 trillion tax revenue by increasing top tax rate to 39.6%. 39.6%, almost 40%, taxing capital gains at ordinary rates and raising the corporate tax rate to 28%. Ladies and gentlemen, what do you think these corporations are going to do? Amazon, Google, none of these people pay taxes. So they're just going to send. Now, when I call, who is it? Amazon, T-Mobile, it don't matter who I call. Who do you hear most of the time? Philippines, right? You hear somebody in the Philippines, you're like, how can I help you? And I'm not making fun of anyone who's Filipino, but it's very hard to understand those people. They're either from the Philippines or they're from India. So T-Mobile, I'm just using an example. I have nothing against T-Mobile, good service. T-Mobile, they outsource their call centers to the Philippines. Amazon outsource their call centers to India, right? This to avoid a lot of tax. The only way you're going to catch these guys with their pants down, Joe Biden, that's if you highly tax them the way Trump did. I'm just saying, people who were sending their business overseas, supposedly, okay, they were getting taxed. Now, a lot of you can say, well, Trump did a lot for the wealthy and rich. Let me tell you something about this. And I don't agree with either side, just so you guys know. I'm not confused about what I'm saying. I don't agree with either side. It's kind of like robbing Peter to pay Paul. Because when you really look at this, if he raises taxes on the most wealthiest people in the country, guess who provide the most jobs in the country? The most wealthiest people in the country. So if you're going to tax them 3, 4, 5, 10 more %, they're going to start to cut jobs because they understand overhead. They're going to understand that I can't get paid. I can't provide these 401ks, these IRAs, these medical plans under the current tax rates. Let's move on. How are we going to pay for all of these programs? Can we look at this very quickly? How are we going to pay for all these programs? Some of you are going to say, well, he's going to tax the filthy rich. Okay. It says forgive student debt and make college free for those making up to $125,000. So if you make $125,000 or less, they're talking about forgive student loan debt and make college free. Ladies and gentlemen, do we know the current, debt in America? Let's just go to the debt calculator. Let's just go to U.S. debt calculator. I'm going to let you guys know this right off top. Let's see how many trillions of dollars are we in debt, right? It don't matter. It's just printing money, like we always say. America is $27 trillion in debt. $27 trillion in debt, and moving on to 28. Right now, we're at $27.8 trillion in debt. Let's just round up like we always do and say that America is $28 trillion in debt. That is where we are, okay? So when we look at these plans about free forgive student loans, okay, I understand that a lot of college students who are in college, out of college, they're struggling because of their debt. But now you're going to make college free. You're going to make college free. Here's the thing. There's a loophole in all of this. Make college free for those making up to $125,000. I'm not going to get a job. I'll live with mom and dad till I finish college. Why would I do that? I'm going to have my uncle who's a gas station worker. I'm going to register him as my guardian. He makes what, $35,000 a year. People are going to figure out how to get this free college. What is that going to do to the national debt? Then some of you are going to say, well, I don't care about the national debt. Let's look at it again. So I want you guys to start connecting the dots. U.S. national debt, 28. Debt per citizen, 84,000. Debt per taxpayer, 222,000. U.S. federal spending, this is ridiculous. $6 trillion. This is ridiculous. Like, if you keep breaking this down, basically the economy is going to fall. These are tall tale signs of a recession or another depression. I bullshit you not. These are tall tale signs. These are tall tale signs when you start on a trajectory that we're doing this right here, because we need to understand two things. Now, I'm not taking my hat off to Trump. I'm not saying Trump did a good job. I'm not saying that. What I am saying is that people's 401ks, IRAs, and the house market was a lot better before COVID-19 hit. That's what we understand. Trump is a businessman. He did great for businesses. He did great for the stock market. And he did great for the housing market in real estate. Okay? Other than that, you guys can argue with me all day about my other views. But those things are in print. Those things are in writing. Those things that we know. Because whether you like the man or not, and I don't like him, just so we keep on that notion, because I don't want nobody coming late in the chat. Oh, you're a Trump supporter. You know how people are. That he did good for the stock market. And then a lot of you are going to say, well, Obama did this and the other. But the stock market did not perform like this under Obama. Okay? We need to understand the difference of a Republican president and a Democratic president. It's like yin and yang. It's a great balance how we look at it. But even though it seems as though that Obama increased jobs under his presidency, and it almost seems as though that jobs were still being created under Trump. Now, we understand that maybe the first year and a half, those policies that Obama put in place still help the American people, okay? Still help the American people. But I think that by Trump being hard-nosed on China and taxing a lot of businesses who were trying to do business overseas, that also increased jobs, because he was the whole America first, America first, America first. So everybody knows Joe to do business heavily with China. So what does that mean? That means that a lot of those restrictions that Trump put in place on China, those embargoes, those tariffs, they're gonna be lifted. They're gonna be eased. The bans are gonna be gone. So as we're looking at this plan right here, ladies and gentlemen, I want to make sure you see it. Then we're talking about $15 minimum wage. Everybody who's poor, let's just keep it real. Everybody who's poor, everybody who's making under $15 an hour is like, yes, I agree. Yes, ladies and gentlemen, I agree too. But here's the thing. You can't make the entire national average in America $15. You telling me somebody in Alabama sweeping the floor of McDonald's needs $15. And some of you are like, yeah, they need $15 to live. And I said this before. I believe that minimum wage should fit the city you live in, that you can live off that paycheck, at least a 1-bedroom apartment. So that means in places like New York, the minimum wage should be $20. Places in Alabama, the minimum wage should be $10 in some places, unless you live close to Birmingham. But if you don't see all of this money being forked out, what do you think is going to happen? Eventually, the middle class, which most Americans are going to feel this tax hike. There's no way you can only raise on the top 10% of Americans, the top 20% of Americans, you go up 3 to 4%. You're taking 40% of their earnings based upon their income and tax it and expect to pay for all of these programs. Expand Buy America policies through government purchases while using subsidiaries, federal matching, and incentives to make America products more competitive. You can't do that when you're taxing the rich as heavily as you are. And granted, I agree that the rich should be taxed higher than everybody else. But again, companies like Google, Amazon, IBM, it don't matter. Think of a Fortune 500 company, and I guarantee at least 350 of them don't pay taxes, if any. Donald Trump is not the only billionaire that only paid $750 in the last 3 years. There's people who worth $3 million and still don't pay taxes because of the loopholes for people who have LLCs and corporations. The first 3 years of any business, did you know that they can actually, when they file their taxes, they can file every single thing as a loss? Even if they're profitable, here's the catch. Even if they're profitable, they'll continue to buy things in order to be in debt. Even though the things that they purchase will bring more wealth to their company, will bring more revenue to their company. On the books, as long as they keep buying and they spent more, okay? If they spent more than they made, for the first 3 years, they can file as a loss and they don't pay taxes. But even though the things that they bought actually is bringing more income to their business. These are the tax loopholes that the rich people use. And granted, a lot of us are, yeah, Joe, yeah, no school payment, $15 minimum wage. You're going to tax the rich. Listen, this is an avalanche waiting to happen. I'm just breaking down this Joe Biden economic plan, and I'm just like, some things are good, some things are horrible. Okay? And I got it. There's no perfect plan. But if he topples the American economy, don't say we didn't know this. Because here's the thing. People directly associate their emotions and feelings and their political choice, and they don't think about money. They're like, why are you harping on Joe? Joe's doing something for the American people. Here's the thing. If you are a Democrat, raise your hand. If you are a Democrat, raise your hand. Because if you are, the next thing I'm going to ask you, do you know what's in HR 40? Do you know what's in Joe Biden's economic plan? Do you know how he's going to get the money? Here's the thing. We all affiliate ourselves with all these political parties, and we don't know shit about politics. We don't know about politics, and we don't know about the economy. But we just, I'm a Democrat. I voted. We don't even know what we're voting for. We don't know what we're supporting. The only thing they do is this, ladies and gentlemen. They say this. We're going to wipe away school debt and make college free for people making under $125,000. You like, check, sign me up. We're going to make minimum wage across the nation $15. You like, check, sign me up. But here's the thing. Let's just watch and see the first 2 years. The first year, because we understand COVID-19 is still occurring, okay? Because this next plan is going to be the American Rescue Plan, as we're looking at right here. And it says here that Joe Biden announces a $1.9 trillion COVID-19 stimulus plan. There is real pain overwhelming the real economy. You won't see the pain of your scorecard, how things are going on Wall Street, he said in his speech in Wilmington. He referred to what many economists are calling K-shaped recovery, adding that the wealth of the top 1% has grown roughly by 1.5 trillion since the end of last year, 4 times the amount for the entire bottom 50%. And that is correct. That is a problem in America right there. Now, you're thinking, how in the hell these companies grew 1.5 trillion? A lot of people start working from home. That saves businesses a lot of money. So by saving money, that's money that you now have in your cash reserves. So again, these hard headlines, these hard sentences, they don't give you the meat and potatoes. Okay, they just gloss over it. Oh, they made 1.5 trillion. How did they make it? How? By saving, right? But here's another thing. You can go on Indeed, ZipRecruiter, Monster. You can go on all these platforms. They're for jobs. And there's jobs available, right? Let me tell you, some of these jobs are going to be wiped away. When this tax hike hit these rich people, they're going to flip their lid. They're going to start cutting people. You're going to start seeing massive layoffs. I'm just saying, unless something change, hold on to your seat, save your money because it's coming. All this spending, and you're just like, oh, we're just going to tax people and we're going to pay it off. Ain't that much taxing in the world unless you start taxing the middle class. Funding the assault on the virus, strengthening the social security net, push to the brink, and helping state and local governments are the main goals of the American Rescue Plans. In the first 100 days of his administration, he wants to reopen most schools and have 100 million vaccine doses administered. So he wants to reopen schools. So he's not closing down the country, it seems like. He wants people to go back to school. Let's move on. Direct aid, $1 trillion. 1,400 per person checks to supplement the 1,600 checks going out now. Huh? Wait a minute. You're willing to do $1,400, but no one supported the $2,000. But now we're about to get $2,000 when you add the 600. But why did you block? Wait a minute, Nancy, are you listening? Nancy Pelosi, are you listening? Why did y'all block the Republicans from giving the American people the $2,000? And well, nope. It was who else it was? It wasn't just Nancy. It was Mitch McConnell too. Mitch, why you block this? But now Joe is going to do it because here's the thing, ladies and gentlemen. If you did not know already, the Democrats are in control of both chambers. So black people, if you're waiting for reparations and you voted Democrat, they in charge of both chambers, just like Obama. Obama, his 2008 to 2010, the Democrats owned the House and the Senate. No reparations, no relief for ADOS, for Foundational Black Americans. I'm just saying, let me move on. 25 billion in rental assistance and $5 billion to cover home energy and water costs. All of this is associated with the direct aid of $1 trillion. Okay? And we missed this one right here. It says extending emergency unemployment insurance and eviction moratoriums through September 20th through the 21st and raising the former to $400 a week. There's a lot of money being pumping out this economy. And we live in a system of fiat. We just printing money. It's not backed by nothing but debt. Who we are in debt to? We're in debt to China. We're in debt to ourselves. It's amazing to me how we're just doing it. It's amazing that this economy has not already fail. Let me move on. Public health effort in reopening schools, $400 billion. A $20 billion national vaccination program. So you know what that means? They're going to be vaccinating your kids at school. Did y'all hear about that thing where as long as your kid, it was weird. I forgot the name of the bill or the legislation that came out. If your child agrees that they want the vaccine, they're going to give it to them. Anyone hear that? That's, oh my gosh, it's just totally ridiculous. Anyway, let me move on. 50 billion massive expansion of testing, hiring 100,000 more public health workers, 30 billion into the disaster relief fund for PPE, 130 billion to open most schools by spring. He wants OSHA to issue rules that protect all workers. Wait a minute. How are you going to hire 100,000 more public health workers and majority of the hospitals are private? And if you're going to tax the filthy rich, are you going to give incentives for hospitals and clinics? I'm just saying, I mean, again, it's what's not being said. That's important. You see what I'm saying? We get so locked on what we see, what we read. You need to start asking the question is, what is not here in the bill? Because some of you, this is me talking, some of you, I mean, who else is talking, right? Some of you are worried about what you see. I'm worried about the long-term effects of what may happen, because we may be looking into another recession. And what's going to happen, this is going to happen. They're going to blame Donald Trump because he's the only president that has been impeached twice. So he's going to be the fall guy if Joe Biden fails. If this goes through and the economy tanks, they're going to blame Donald Trump. They're going to blame Donald Trump. And the only question I have is, yeah, blame Donald Trump, whatever, right? Is that going to change anything? One. Then two, somehow the economy still stayed afloat under Donald Trump during this pandemic. The stock market was still breaking records, still in the midst of a pandemic. And everybody's like, how in the hell is this happening? That's why right now, if you guys look at your portfolios, let me pop mine up real quick. Let me show you mine. I already know why my portfolio is down. Because Joe Biden came out and said he's going to start taxing the rich. So who's heavily invested? Look at my portfolio. Now, let me show you my past week right here. Let me show you my past week. I was up to $39,000. In a matter of 2 days, my portfolio lost $4,000. When you start talking about, I'm going to start taxing the rich, who do you think is keeping the stock market afloat? Not middle class, not poor people, rich people. If rich people are fearful and start to pull their money out, your 401ks go down, your IRAs go down, your annuities go down, your trusts go down, your life insurance goes down, because life insurance is actually invested too. So go look at Trump is. Go look at your retirement plans, whatever you got. If you simply got life insurance, go check it. IRAs, go check it. ETF funds, go check it. Bonds, go check it. Look at the rates now. Look at the rates now. It does not pay to be part of any political party. It does nothing for you. It does nothing for you at all. I lost $4,000 in 2 days because Joe Biden simply came out and said, I'm taxing the rich. That's all he had to say. Rich was like, okay, take the money out, stock market down. Let me move on. Support local communities, $404 billion. Where is this money coming from? We are $28 trillion in debt as a nation. Where is this money coming from? Because as I already stated, Tesla, IBM, Oracle, Amazon, Google, Facebook, none of these guys are paying taxes. None of these guys are paying taxes. But some of you work for them. See, what I don't understand is this. When you work at an organization, let's take, for instance, Amazon. I used to work at Amazon as an operations manager, right? And it was just giving, during the pandemic, it was just giving people bonuses and paying them double time for coming in during the pandemic. They was giving them incentives. Do you think Amazon is going to start paying people double time, raising people's pay to $17, $18? Like people right out of high school getting paid $18, $19 at Amazon. They just packing boxes. They literally take a product off the conveyor belt, put it in another box, tape the box, put some Kerrigan, that's some little paper in it, put another piece of tape on it, put a label on it, throw it back on another conveyor belt, and it goes out to be shipped. That's all they're doing. They can pay $18, $19 to do that. So if Amazon is doing it to get your packages to your door, and they're going to start taxing the rich heavily, what do you think Amazon going to do? They're going to like, no more raises. No more raises for frontline workers. No more raises. Know what? Stop the hiring. There's a hiring freeze. You know Boeing, oh my God, you know Boeing going to lay off about 3,000 people. They do it like clockwork. They do it like clockwork. I'm just naming certain organizations that I just have head knowledge on, what they're going to do right off the top. You're going to see this and see, we're thinking about, well, he's going to do this and he's going to do that. What is the cause and effect? We have to be more intelligent what politicians show us. It doesn't matter their political affiliation. We need to be smarter than what they tell us. See, when you go in here, it's juicy. Oh, he's going to do this. He's going to forgive student loan. He's going to do this. I don't care. You may not care now, but 3-4 months from now, a year from now, you may care when your ass is at home and out of a job again. Because right now, as I said before, you go on all these other platforms, there's jobs. There's jobs. There are telecommunicating jobs. There's satellite jobs where you stay at home. There are some jobs where you go in once or twice a week. There's still jobs. They're doing interviews at home. Watch these jobs start to disappear. I'm just letting you know. Healthcare. Official data from the United States Census Bureau indicates that the uninsured rate at the time of the interview in 2019 was 9.2 versus an uninsured rate of 8.9 in 2018. Between 2018 and 2019, the number of people without health coverage decreased in one state, but increased in 19 states. Overall, the number of people with no health insurance for the entire year was lower at 8% in 2019 compared to 8.5% in 2018. Okay. So it decreased Obama and Trump. Okay, got it. All right. Biden has railed against the Trump's administration countless attacks to the Affordable Health Care Act. As president, he has promised to protect the build on the ACA, Affordable Health Care Act, although he wants to ensure health care as a right and not a privilege. He does not support Medicare for all. He does not support Medicare for all. He does not support Medicare for all or eliminating private insurance because it would mean getting rid of Obamacare and starting over on political negotiations. Now, I've talked to many medical administrators. I talked to my fiance who's a nurse. They said that Obamacare is horrible. I don't know. I don't know that. I'm just going off what I said. They said that Obamacare is horrible. That's all I'm saying. That is just hearsay. I didn't do the research. I'm just being real. But literally everybody who works in the medical field who knew anything about Obamacare, they said that it was horrible. That's what I was told. Let's move on. He also argued during the September debate that Medicare for all will cost more than $30 trillion over 10 years. Oh, this is the one you care about. Medicare for all. Okay. Then it says here, it breaks down, let me blow this up. It breaks down the amount of insurance that everybody has. It says employment based. Look at this. I want you to look at the numbers here. 2018 to 2019, right? It says here that 2019, 56.4% of Americans had employment-based insurance. 2019, the direct purchase of insurance dropped by 0.6%. TRICARE stayed the same. Medicare rose by about 1%. Medicaid dropped 0.7%. And then Chat VA, and then uninsured also decreased in 2019 as well. See, here's the thing, ladies and gentlemen. If you create more jobs, more people have health insurance, because most people are going to get health insurance under their jobs. See, I thought that he would be pushing something more like when jobs fraudulently only hire you guys to work 30 hours, to work 35 hours, because every single business knows if I hire you, okay, if I hire you for less than 40 hours, I do not have to give you health insurance. That's why some of you only work 30 hours. That's why some of you only work 35 hours, because they don't want to offer you health insurance. And a lot of those are jobs like, McDonald's, Burger King, Wendy's. They don't want to fork out health insurance. See, again, this all looks good on graphics, but this doesn't tell you the bottom line. This doesn't give you the real fix. He just forking out money. I'm going to tax the rich, and I'm going to give everybody free health care. I'm going to give everybody free school. I'm going to forgive everybody's debt. How are you going to do that with just taxing the rich? The rich don't pay taxes anyway. It's what's not here is what's important. Let me show you guys on Instagram real quickly what I'm talking about here. Give me 1 second. That's the percentages I was referring to earlier. All right. Let's move on, because this economic plan needs to be broken down. And a lot of you, I know, busy lives, you don't have time to go through it like I did. But again, I could be totally off, but I believe if a lot of these things get approved, get passed into law, there's going to be another recession. So a lot of you who are close to retirement, you better be having your eyes on your retirement plans. I'm telling you, it's about to hit hard. These rich people love to stay rich. These rich people love to stay rich. And this is what I don't like. People like ourselves, most of us are what? Middle class and working class. Middle class and working poor. Middle class, majority of black people, what? Middle class, working class, and working poor. We go ham on rich people all the time, don't we? Oh, those rich motherfuckers. But here's the thing. We go ham on the rich people with all the organizations and businesses that offer us jobs. They offer us jobs. And here's the thing. We can create our own jobs. But we're too divided. We don't believe in group cooperative economics. A Nigerian friend of mine, or a subscriber of mine rather, he's going to teach me what cooperative economics is all about. They do it in Nigeria all the time, with like-minded people that can trust each other, come together, put their money in a pool so somebody can invest in business. And then a month, 2 months, 3 months later, they come back together and they pool together and somebody else creates a business. They're creating their own economic system within their own businesses. They may work for somebody else, but they come together and they put their money together in order to fund each other. Because here's the thing. If you hate all these rich people who are offering you jobs, then what do you think is going to occur when they wipe away these jobs and they raise these taxes? What do you think is going to occur? What do you think is going to happen? This is not going to go over well. Rich people love to be rich. See, we hate the rich guy in the business suit, but we love the rich guy in Balenciagos and gold chains. Uh-oh. You see what I'm saying? And I'm not saying any of these corporations are not fair. I'm not saying they're fair, but I'm saying they are offering jobs, and jobs will start to be depleted because of plans like this. I promise you. Let's see, what else can I pull out of here? He also wants to eliminate the 400% federal poverty level, income cap for tax credit eligibility, and lower employees' maximum contribution for coverage to 8.5%. In addition to this, he promises to bar healthcare providers from surprise billing patients with out-of-network rates and address market concentration in the industry. I agree. I don't think the entire plan is bad. This to let you know. But I think that majority of it is not that good. I think about 60% of the plan is trash. But there is a 40% of this plan that's really, really good. And that's part I absolutely agree on. When they give you surprise billing and you don't know how much you paid. If anybody ever been in an ambulance before, that must be the most expensive gas in the world. Like, dude, you gave me an IV and you took me to the hospital, $1,100. It's ridiculous. So I agree with that. Okay. Biden announced he will fight for lowering the Medicare eligibility to age to 60 from 65. So more people will cover. I agree with that. Now, taxes. Biden wants a pro-growth progressive tax code. His plan is expected to raise nearly $4 trillion in additional revenue over a decade. According to the Tax Policy Center, the highest income, 20% of households who make about $170,000 or more would bear nearly 93% of the burden of Biden's proposed tax increase, and the top 1%, nearly 3/4. Here's a list of the changes. So if you make over $170,000, or he said households who make over $170,000, you're going to pay for 93% of all these taxes. You're going to pay for 93%. And there's some of us who are in the middle class. But when you add your wife, or you add your husband, or your girlfriend, you're living in the same place, you guys are making close to 170, if not 140. Because here's the thing. Now, let me say this. The middle class actually stops at around 145, 150,000. So that's why he went to 170. But some of you may say, no, we make about 170, but we still consider ourselves the middle class. But according to economics, if you make less than 150,000, 145,000, you're considered the middle class up until around 35 or 40,000, if I'm not mistaken. Okay? But here's saying that people who make 170,000 or more is going to pay 93% of Biden's proposed tax increase. Wait a minute. So if you own a small business, are you going to be affected by the 93%? Are you included in the 93%? If you own a business and you make over 170,000, are you going to be included? I'm just asking a question that I know you guys want to know. Let's break this down, though. Raise the top income tax rate back to 39.6 from 37%. He's going to tax people at 40%. This is sounding like the UK. This is sounding like the United Kingdom. Raise the top income tax rate back to 40% from 37%. Some people are like, oh man, it's only 3%. You better do the damn math. You better do the math. I give you an example. When I was in Washington doing a lot of the city council and state voting in different bills, they proposed a tax hike for RTA, the Regional Transit Authority. Seattle wanted to build a subway from Seattle all the way down through Tacoma. They say in order to do this, we got to tax people more money, but in order to do that, we have to have a vote. So when they proposed this to the Washingtonians in Washington State, they say, hey, we're only going to raise it $0.8 of your registration price. So when you go register your car, it used to be around $80. Every year you pay $80 to register your car in the state of Washington. They did a RTA increased tax hike of 0.8%. Do you know that people now in Washington State are paying $400 to $800 for registration? Okay. We need to understand percentages. If anybody subscribe of my channel, what did I always tell you when it comes to money? Understand the percentages. Get your mind, get your eyes off the big numbers like 1 trillion, 3-4 billion. No. What is the percent? That is where the information is. I digress. I really want to show you what Washington State did because that's ridiculous. But they knew people don't do math and people don't read. So it's easily to be fooled. It's easily to be fooled when you don't read and you don't count. You don't do math and you don't read. It's easy to fool anybody. See, I just throw a bunch of numbers at you. Yeah, man, at $1 trillion, you go $400,000 a year at 3.5%. I mean, you'll be okay. You're like, oh yeah, that sounds pretty good. You damn dummy. No, it doesn't. This is ridiculous. But people easily manipulate it. Just saying. Let me move on. He says apply Social Security payroll tax for those earning over $400,000 a year. I agree. Close the step up and buyer's loophole. Raise the top corporate income tax rate to 28 from 21. Whoa, Joe. Listen, ladies and gentlemen, please stay with me. Can I break this down to you? I like to do something very, very just dumb it down for me. Raise the top corporate income tax rate to 28% from 21%. Wow. Let's look into this. Capital gains. Capital gains are the profits from sales of an asset, shares of stocks, a piece of land, a business, and generally are considered taxable income. How much these gains are tax depend on a lot and how long you held the asset before selling. So again, I go back. Corporate income tax rate. Corporate income tax rate is going to raise from 21% to 28%. Who is that going to hurt? Corporations. Who usually work for corporations? We do. Because corporations have what they call shareholders. They have investors who back their business. In order for those shareholders to stay in bed with that corporation, guess what they're going to do? They're going to let people go and they're going to stop hiring people. This is what they do. This is what they do all the freaking time. This is nothing new. Impose a 15% minimum tax on book income of large companies, at least 100 million annual net income. Tax profits earned from foreign subsidies of U.S. firms at 21%. Tax. The largest federal tax expenditures in 2019 fiscal year. Earned income credit is at the bottom. This is where Trump messed up all about taxes. See, I go ham on everybody. Joe, Trump, it don't matter to me. It's all about money with me. This is where Donald Trump made majority of Americans, middle class, pay taxes. Because look at this chart really quickly. Where majority of us was in this chart right here. Let me show these guys on Instagram really quickly. Earned income tax credit is the one that middle class, and also the working class really got good returns back for our tax returns. And when you look at this, it says the largest federal tax expenditures in 2019, tax exclusion for employer-sponsored health insurance was the most. Reduced rates of tax on dividends and long-term capital gains was the second. Credit for children and other dependents. Tax benefits for employer-defined contribution plans. Tax benefits for defined benefit plans, and then earned income credit was the last. And that is why under Donald Trump, you didn't see as large as tax return than you did under Obama. Because Donald Trump heavily taxed the middle class while still creating jobs, helped to create jobs, and still helping everybody's 401k. We got to take the good with the bad, right? Because I asked somebody, here's a question. Would you rather have a job or would you rather have $5,000 tax return? Would you rather have a job or no, I'll make it sweeter than that. Would you rather have a job or 15,000 of a tax return? Now, some of you are saying, yeah, I'm gonna take that 15,000 and create a business. Touche. But for you guys who are not going to create a business and you don't mind working for somebody because you got steady income coming in and you're good at what you do, would you rather take 15,000 and have no job or a job? All right, you got it. There's certain trade-offs, but this is where you hurt a lot of people with their tax returns. Talking about Donald Trump. Okay, student debt. We talked about that. He says he will fund this by repealing the high income excess business loss tax in the CARES Act. The tax cut overwhelmingly benefits the richest Americans and necessary for the address the current COVID-19. So again, he's taking away benefits that Donald Trump gave to large businesses. He's taking that away to fund the student debt. What's going to happen to jobs again? See, when we talk about jobs, I'm not talking about McDonald's. I'm not talking about Burger King. I'm talking about those jobs that pay you $50,000 or more. Burger King, you work at Burger King, Papa Murphy's, Papa John's, Pizza Hut, the local buffet. I mean, you're going to be okay. You're going to be all right. But for those of you with associate's degrees, certifications, licensing, bachelor's degrees, master's degrees, PhDs, you're going to be ones who will be highly affected because jobs making 50 grand or more are going to be highly affected. Okay. I'm just letting you know. I'm no economist, but I can read. All right, let's see. He has several other federal student debt proposals, including immediately canceling a minimum of $10,000 of student debt per person, forgiving the remainder of loans after 20 years with no tax burden. I got a question. Just ask yourself this question. Take, for instance, you are a professor at a college and you get paid 100 grand. You get paid good. You get paid 100 grand. The money that these students said, I know how much school costs, and I still want to go to this school. I still want to go to Penn State. I still want to go to Ohio State. I still want to go to Florida State. I still want to go to Texas A&M or Texas University or Texas Longhorn, whatever. I still want to go to Harvard. So you literally, say, hey, I'm okay with these large, school tuitions. I'm okay with it. I want to go to this school. I want to go to Penn State. I want to go to Kansas State. I want to go to Kansas. I want to go to Colorado State. This is where I want to go. So you know how much the school costs. And then you say, you're for this because it wipes away your student debt, even though you knew how much the school costs. Now, you're the professor that makes $100,000. If he forgives these student loans, how are you getting paid? Now, the question is this. Is he only doing federal, which he has the power to do, or influence, or he's doing federal and private? Let me tell you something. He's talking about federal. He's talking about federal loans. If you got a private loan, okay, if you got a private loan, then you're the shit out of luck. He don't have no power over that. You're going to pay them people their money, or your credit going to be tore up from the floor up. You're going to pay them people their money if you got a private loan. Now, if you got one of those Fannie Mae's, Freddie Mae's, Sandy Mae's, all those different loans that people have, The federal government is going to take the hit on this one again. How does this play into the economy? It's adding to another indicator of another recession. And then who's going to be the fall guy? It's easy to fearmonger people when you have an unpopular, racist, prejudiced, white supremacist president like Donald Trump. But the way that you woo and swoo the American people is replace that racist, white supremacist with another racist, white supremacist and Joe Biden. And then the country topples in a recession and you say, it was him, it was Donald Trump. I know it's not a popular topic, but if you know more, you do more. And here's the thing. This is my warning to everybody that's listening. Please save your money. Please save your money. We have another new wave. This is the third wave of COVID-19. We have a different strain that's already here from the UK. There's 27 mutations of COVID-19. You have two companies like Moderna and Pfizer with two vaccines. Nobody knows if they're shared information. They look like two different vaccines. You also have Johnson & Johnson with a vaccine, but they have not got approved yet. So you got all these different, you got two different strains of COVID-19. Then you have 7 mutations. And now they're saying, oh, you need this shot of COVID-19. And then later on, you're going to need another shot. Like, whoa. A vaccine supposed to make you immune to a virus. It's not a booster shot. I mean, shit, I can go get me some elderberry and vitamin C. I mean, and zinc. I mean, what are we doing here? It's not a booster shot, right? Then you say, well, I got both of my shots from Pfizer. Then somebody said, nah, girl, I got mine from Moderna. That's much better. No, Johnson & Johnson got the best vaccine. And then I come in and I say, well, for what strain? And what mutation? I'm just saying. I'm just putting it out there. Workers' rights. All right. I'm going to stop right here because it's going to get boring because, again, he's doing a lot of forking out of a lot of money. I'm going to read some of you guys messaging. I love to read people's message, good, bad, or indifferent. I usually read it unless it's just like, oh, you stupid. Because I can be stupid sometimes. It is what it is. Ashley Hawkins says, yeah, I was getting paid $13 for finding the items. Okay. She says, then the people who drive in the ambulance make $11 an hour. Cost $2,000 here for an ambulance. We got Notorious. Hold on, let me go back up. Miss Berry said, I support the Donald Trump America's First. Someone will pay for it. Nothing in life is free. Okay. Joe will sell our country to China in no time. I'm thinking Miss Berry is just a Trump supporter. I'm not mad at you. I'm not mad at anybody who support anybody. You are what you are. Jermaine Ann says, good night, Brother Ross and everybody. Ms. Berry said $15 an hour, $15 loaf of bread. Mike Scott says Trump. Bailouts for failing Democrat-run cities. So she's definitely a Republican. Ms. Teacher, Lady 79 said, yes, I heard about the law. Government is sneaky. Where is this money coming from? They're playing political games. All of a sudden, the economy can open up. We'll be in a depression. Hinda Kush said, Biden and camel toe. People are stupid on the internet. Police state, fear-mongering compound in America, 25,000 troops. Think about that. Jermaine Anderson says, and we didn't even talk Social Security. No, we mentioned Social Security. He's going to, again, tax the rich to increase Social Security. Okay? All right, let's move on. Let's see here. Notorious Ross says, keep spitting facts. OG Real Talks, keep applying pressure. Will do. Samuel said, what about racing against inflation? This is what I said on my other live stream. That's what people don't understand. Eventually, see, remember when I believe it was Trump, somebody was like, we're not going to tax anybody over 200,000. Now it decreased down to 170,000. He has to find this large group of people to tax. So now if you make $170,000 or more, so 171,000 or more, right? You're going to be part of that 93% of the people at 40%. He's going to tax you at 40% in order to pay for all these programs. But that's not going to be enough. Okay. And then there's going to be a trickle effect of jobs, benefits, portfolios, retirement plans being decreased or wiped away. Let me give you some information here. What happened under Obama? Let's do some history. What happened to Obama with your retirement plans? Remember between the transition of Bush and Obama? Was it Bush and Obama? Remember that companies started wiping away pensions? They started doing 401ks. 401ks are new. 401ks are new. Like, what I mean by new is that people will work for a company 20 to 30 years and have a pension, meaning that company will pay you $2,000 to $4,000 every month for the rest of your life. That is gone. There's no more pensions. That happened under Obama. It started kind of with Bush, but there was still a lot of companies still grandfather people in. But when Obama came in, and I'm not saying Obama's bad, I'm just saying that his policies and the tax hikes on the rich, they wiped away pensions. There's no such thing as a pension no more. You have a 401k, 403b, IRA. That's all you have. That's all that you guys have now. Let me move on. We got here, it says, Samuel said, the issues is also the cost of living went up, but not the wages. Indeed. We got here, it says, hey, what's up? Penny Sarker liked. Jerome said good. It says, Jerome Victory, good info, Ross. I appreciate your videos. Well, thank you, Jerome. I appreciate you watching and viewing. Your thought for 400,000K tax rebate. Is Trump power gone? There's some vague questions. Is it, I don't want to say Bianca Oja? I don't know how to pronounce your name, but is Trump power gone? I mean, he's the president until the 20th. Tomorrow, most of us are off because of Martin Luther King birthday, his celebration of his birthday. And then when is the inauguration? The 20th. Today is the 17th. So the inauguration is on Wednesday. Okay. Now there's been a lot of gun sales. Let's move the tide. There's been a lot of gun sales in America over the past weekend. Places like Academy Sports and Cabela's have been selling out of guns. And most of the Patreons, most of the customers have been of Anglo-Saxon descent, of European descent. And I'm advising you, doesn't matter if you are Black, Hispanic, Indian, if you don't have a gun, this is America. That's all I'm going to tell you. This is America. This is America. If you have melanated skin, and my Indian brothers and sisters from India, you have melanated skin. At night, they might mistake you from one of us. You might want to go and get you a little hand piece. Just letting you know. Samuel said, do you think most of your money in stocks for safety? Hell no. The stock market is not a guarantee, ladies and gentlemen. You can lose. I've lost $4,000 as I showed a lot of my, let me show you again, guys, for you guys who are just tuning in. I lost $4,000. Okay. Here's my portfolio. Here is January 13th. So in 4 days, I'm counting today. 14, 15, 16, 17. I've lost $4,000. $39,000. I'm at 39,000. Now I'm at 35,000. I've lost $4,000 in a week. On IG, we got Breeze. He says the way you're saying makes it sound worse than what it actually is. What you're doing, says, and still wear the mask. He's talking about the virus. See, Breeze on Instagram, he says that I'm making things sound worse than really what it is. No, I'm not. See, here's the thing about interpretation of information. This is what I'm talking about, the interpretation of information in Instagram. I'm going to say goodnight to you guys. I don't see anybody on here anymore. This is what I talk about. The interpretation of information is that however you read something, but I'm reading things in black and white. Am I not? I'm not making any of this up. We're reading this. And a lot of you who have a brain and you use your brain, you're saying, yeah, where they're getting the money from. Because some of you, like myself, like to connect the dots. Okay, Joe, we love everything you're doing. You're going to wipe away school debt. For the first wave, you're going to wipe away everybody $10,000. Then you're going to make college free. Oh, I love the way that sounds. But how are you going to do that? Think about it like this. Right now, I'm going through a situation with a contractor at my house. He was incarcerated over the weekend, some weird stuff. And I'm like, yo, you've been missing days. You haven't been doing this. How are you going to get this done? How are you going to connect the electricity and you already got the drywall up? How are you going to run the wires? You're going to have to take the drywall down. See, here's the point I'm making is this. You got to understand the why in everything, or how. The why and the how. The why is he's doing it for the American people and trying to secure another 4 years for himself or the Democratic Party. Check. We understand that. Politics. Got it. But how are you going to do this? Somebody say, well, he explained how he's going to tax those people making those households making over $170,000 or more. He's going to tax them up that percentage, 93% of them, at 40%. So basically, ladies and gentlemen, let me help you. Let me help you to understand this a little bit better. If you make $100 and someone takes $40, that is the 40% that he's talking about. Think about that. Think about that. That's almost half. That's almost half. And these rich people are not going to stand for it. They're going to find out every loophole they can possibly find. And then when that doesn't work, next year, watch how the middle class taxes are raised. You don't got to take it from me. I'm just a guy talking on the internet. I'm just a guy talking on the internet, reading your notes. Samuel, thank you for your donation. I appreciate that, sir. I accept all donations. You know, I have some people on that channel. And guys, if you're a subscriber of mine, I love when you guys support the channel. Believe me, it goes into better equipment, better platforms, so I can continue to educate you guys, whether it be how finances involve your entire life. Politics, relationship, vacation, healthcare, you name it. Finances in every facet of your life. Let's say, Josh says stocks might not fall if Joe comes. We have seen in Biden win. Stocks might not fall if Joe comes and we have seen Biden win. I'm not understanding that. If anybody can make sense of that, please let me know. Samuel says, with change of power, balance may erupt. Definitely. Are you an option trader? Option trader? I am an option trader. Learning every day. What's going on this evening? What's going on? Let's see. Or just having stocks portfolio. I have both. I do option trading and I have regular stocks. Hope everybody okay. Facts. We all countries and same, just we are divided from our nation. This is why we have to go to interplanet for the game. Oh man. Wow. Okay. Anyway, ladies and gentlemen, this is the thing. If we don't understand how politics works, and remember my previous video, I was telling you how politics are directly tied to the stock market. This is what I'm talking about. The stock market and politics are hand in hand, because in politics, these are the officials that we elected to pass laws, legislations, and bills in order to run this corporation, not this country, this corporation. So with that being said, how you think the stock market with all these rich people and their corporations is going to respond when you start to tax them at 40%? Let me show you how rich people respond, when they get taxed. Let me show you. This is how they respond. This is how they respond when you tax the rich. My portfolio, and I want to beat the dead horse in this because I hate losing money. My portfolio lost $4,000 in 4 days. So that's an average of $1,000 a day. When did Joe Biden come out and say that the stock market, when did Joe Biden come out and say that he's going to start taxing rich people at 40%? 4 days ago. When they saw his COVID-19 relief plan, and then they realized his economic plan, that's when the stock market did this. From 39,000 to 35,000. This is my portfolio. Look at all of my options over here. Let me show you something else. Let me show you stocks like NEO and Plug Power. Let me show you this. Let me show you a good indicator. Why? Now, some people say, well, Plug Power went down because was it JP Morgan and Chase said that they met their value? But no. How did the whole stock market meet their value? What happened in the past week? So they were up to $65, right? They were up to $65. News came out January 14th. Remember I said that on mine? And then they started dropping. Okay. I'm just looking at the stock market. I'm just giving you the information as I see it. I could be totally wrong. I don't know. Let's try NEO. Let's see if we can see some of the same information. I could be wrong. I'm doing this live. I didn't check it. So I just want to see for myself. Past week. Wow. Let's go here. What day is this? The 12th. And it kept going down. And look at this. The 14th. Remember the 14th, like I said, what happened on the 14th? Boom. And look where it is now, $56. NEO, was up to $63. The 14th, the information comes out. It drops down to $57, down at $56. Let's just try one more for peak's sakes. Let's just see. Let's try Tesla. Let's try Tesla. 1 week. Let's go up. 14th. Ladies and gentlemen, this is the honest to God's truth. I did not check this before I came live. I just had a hunch. I just had a guess. My portfolio went down, and when that news came out, look at the dates. They all line up, and look at all these stocks going down, 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 down. Why is Tesla going down? Somebody, well, they recall some vehicles. Tesla, never mind. Let me stop. Let me do one that's, let me do some people don't heard of Upwork. Let's do Upwork, okay? Let's just see. I could be wrong. I just want to do one more. Here's Upwork past week. 14th, it was up. But from the 14th, wait a minute, it started to go down and down and down and down. Like I said, I'm just a guy on the internet. I may not know what I'm talking about. I'm no economist, but I'm just reading as I see it. Joe going to take your 40% from your portfolio. He should. That was a good one. And he did. He already getting his. Learning every day. Say, I'm glad you said this. Alfonso Morris, I miss making 3,100 from Plug Power. Yeah, exactly. Plug is before 2020. I think Neo going to settle around 71, 73 by mid-March. I got to work for the long haul. Okay. All right, ladies and gentlemen. Again, for you guys who are just tuning in, please rewind the video. I gave out a lot of information why I believe that a lot of jobs are going to be cut. A lot of benefits plans are going to be decreased. A lot of layoffs may occur. Big if, this is an if all the things that Joe Biden has in his economic plan, if that occurs, I am with great certainty there's going to be a lot of jobs wiped away. There's going to be a lot of people whose incomes are going to be capped. There's going to be a lot of jobs. See, when they say create jobs, what jobs are you creating? Burger King? I'm talking about jobs that make $50,000 or more. That is what you need to know. Those jobs are going to decrease. Those jobs making $50,000 or more are going to decrease if this entire economic plan that's going to tax the rich people, going to tax the majority of rich people. I am not lying to you. Watch. I don't need to be an economist. I don't need to be an accountant. I can read. And I know that you can't do something while other things are occurring. Okay? Because Donald Trump is the one who came in, right? He came in like a damn man on fire on a horse. And he just said, hey, they not paying taxes. They not paying taxes. You know, he a snitch. Donald Trump's a snitch. He's like, they not paying taxes? Jeff Bezos, Elon Musk, Bill Gates, none of you guys are paying taxes. He was jealous because he paid $750 in 3 years. He said, no, they paid zero. What do you think these rich people are going to do in order to keep paying zero taxes? Listen to me and listen to me good. Next year, look at your taxes. I want you guys to see how much you pay in taxes this year. Ask your CPA, ask your tax accountant. Once you get your return, say, hey, how much did I pay in taxes? If you can't read the W-4 or the 1040 EZ, how much did I pay in taxes? And I want you to put it on a note, electronic note, or email it to yourself. Then next year, I want you to go back and check it. And you're going to say, that black dude on the YouTube who was ranting and raving, he was right. I'm just saying, this is a guy on the internet spilling the information. Who knows if I'm right or wrong? He said, what's your spinning tool in your background? Oh, that's some sort of kinetic thing. I don't know what it's called. It's called an energy sticks. That's what it's called. All right, guys. That's my time for this evening. I'm going to read one last note here. Alfonso Morris says, right people don't understand how tax corporations, elite families, and business taxes affect job creation. All they're going to do is send what can the country out, push more 6 million. Exactly. I say this. When they start to tax these people, they're going to cut jobs. They're going to do a hiring freeze, and they're going to send all the jobs back to India and also the Philippines, like they're already doing right now. But they're going to increase the amount. Okay? So there you have it, ladies and gentlemen. This is Financial Literacy 101. Learn money and be inspired. And I hope that I'm 100% wrong. I do. And you guys can beat me up and tell me, man, you were wrong. And I'm going to say, I am glad.